Okay, so what's going on with the cortina? Let's go and have a look. There she is, all covered up. I have driven it. We started road tuning. She's covered up now because there's a couple of things she needs. But first things first, the first time we took it out, the 14x7 turbos that we had on it were rubbing on the back as soon as we left the driveway, so I swapped them out for my my nephew's Rostyles. The car, actually, every single time we've driven this car out of the driveway, we've driven it home. I haven't had to put any tools on it so far while we were out driving. The first drive wasn't too bad. A couple of little teething issues. We had to stop a few times and do a little bit of tuning and stuff, but all in all, pretty good. And again, drove it home. We changed a couple of things. The electric water pump stopped working, and that ended up, after I pulled the full dash out and had a play of it, it ended up being the fuse holder for the electric water pump controller. That was the issue. So we couldn't drive it without a water pump. So I fixed that, put all the dash back together, and then we went again. We had another issue with it surging. It was surging at about a quarter of a tank, and then we realized that it needs a surge tank. It needs a surge tank for the simple reason is that, you know, it's an in-tank fuel pump that I put in there, but it was sloshing around too big, so it either needs a bit of a baffle or an external surge tank. But I think I'll baffle the tank instead. But apart from that, we filled it up with fuel. We went out. We were out for a good 3 hours, and the car went so well. I'll put up a little video of it on the. Well, unfortunately, it was going that well, we didn't do any videotaping until we were coming back. And the only reason we were coming back is because something was knocking underneath. I thought the drive shaft might have been on its way out, but it turned out to be the exhaust had moved and was banging on the rubber donut on the drive shaft itself. So I fixed that up. But we were out for a good 3 hours. The car went really, really, really well. It was getting better and better and better. But the downside was, once we started getting into it, at around about 4 psi, the clutch was already starting to slip. So, you know, you could put it in fourth and get up to like 120 kilometers an hour, and as soon as it was coming into positive pressure, up to around about 4 or 5 psi, you could feel the clutch starting to slip. So we eased it back home, and it's been sitting here ever since. I cleaned it, and I was going to take it to its first car show, which I was very, very happy about. It was actually Father's Day here in New Zealand. that didn't happen. The car just would not fucking start that morning, and it drove me mental. I went to change the plugs, and in the process of changing the plugs, I actually snapped 2 of these spark plug leads. They were a little bit short to begin with, so I've ordered some more, but she's kind of going to have to wait for a little bit now, because there's a few other things going on in life, you know, that are going to cost money, and I'm researching and trying to find out a clutch, because I'm a little bit reluctant to go full on race clutch, because I don't want on and off. I'd like to daily drive a car. It's got to hold around about 300 horsepower, and everything out of the UK, by the time you land it here now with postage, is over $1,000 for a clutch. I'm reluctant to go and buy a heavy duty clutch, for the simple fact that it will probably start to slip, and then I've wasted that money. So I've got my eye on one in America. It's like a dual friction plate, and it's rated for around about 288 foot-pounds of torque, which should be enough. Once all of that is sorted, we will be putting this on the dyno and further tuning it and finding out what that standard engine is willing to take and what we can produce. But for now, she is kind of on the back burner, hence why pushed into the corner of the garage and covered up. It's lovely and clean, because like I said, I did wash it ready for a car show, but that never happened. So I pretty much put her where she is now. I've started ordering a couple of bits, and then once I'm financially better off, I'll arrange a clutch and we'll start going again. Till then, I've got another few things on the go anyway to keep me occupied. I've been playing with this supercharger pinto setup for my nephew. As you can see, there's a few pinto bits and pieces lying around. That's just a mock-up motor, but that there is a Toyota SC14 supercharger, and I went with Rover V8 SU carbs. So that's kind of the mock-up position for now. You know, it has to clear everything. The Cortina engine bay is such a nice shape that you do have room to move, but you've got to be able to clear a dizzy. There is room for me to get it a little bit closer over this way by removing that lug. Then the outtake will go straight into the intake. The carbs on this side will clear nicely. I'm not sure about these. We might just go nice filters. The adapter plates I made to see if these will bolt to it will need to be made from phenolic plastic, or see if we can 3D print something, because apparently steel on steel, alloy on alloy, and carbs and all that sort of stuff, it's not very good. Like, it won't idle, things will start freezing up and stuff. So if I can make a nice 3D printed one and run tubes through it, then I'll even run the heater hoses through it, so it's, you know, it should work well. The pulley alignment will be pretty good. Oil filter clears, everything should work from there. So that's kind of where I'm at the moment. You know, it's coming into summer here in New Zealand, so there's going to be a few things around the house I need to do. You know, we'll get there, but this is kind of it for now. A few things to play with. I've got another Cortina coming from a mate of mine that is to be unmodified. You know, he wants to put it back to completely factory, and then maybe look at selling it. But apart from that, she's not going anywhere. Just needs a little bit of love, a little bit of money spent on her, and then we should be good to go. All right, thank you very much. Cheers for watching.